Welcome, everybody, to Log Rollin', brand new podcast. This is the Education Podcast, all about navigating the ever-changing educational landscape, where teachers, TOSAs, coaches, and admin all sharing ideas and resources that any educator can use. So, hi, everybody. Welcome. This is the new podcast we're rolling out. My name is Ryan O'Donnell, and I am a tech TOSA from Rocklin, California. And we got a lot of other log rollers with us. So, who else is here?
Hi, I'm April. I'm from Yuba City. I'm the instructional coach for K-5 elementary school and staff development passport presenter. I'm also the lead for the one-to-one pilot.
Hello out there. I am Coach Ben, Rocking Salinas, California. I am an EdTech TOSA, teacher, father, and punk rocker.
And my name is Jenna, and I am from Lake County. And I am the EdTech STEM specialist for all of Lake County, as well as the education coordinator for Taylor Observatory.
And we're not going to drop her in right yet. So we have one more person in here, but we're using a program called Blab, and it only allows 4. And so we also have Ari in here as well. And Ari's going to jump in. She can introduce herself later. But once we jump into one of our segments, we're going to rotate some of our hosts through. So there's 5 of us in here. And so what the point of this show is, we are a bunch of educators who have decided to kind of be able to put some of our thoughts and ideas down that originally sort of stemmed out of kind of some Voxer conversations, and wanted to be able to really continue the conversation into something a little bit more, I don't think formal is the right word, but a little bit more, what do you guys think? What's a better word besides formal?
Comfortable.
Comfortable, I like that. Yes, a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more of a conversation as opposed to a back and Voxer. And so we've kind of been kicking this idea about a podcast around. And so this is kind of what we came up with. And now I think we have our last person in here. We have EdTech Ari. EdTech Ari, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. So my name is Ari Fluwelling, and I work in the Riverside Unified School District as a staff development specialist in the Innovation and Learner Engagement Department, and my emphasis is our one-to-one middle schools.
And you know what I forgot we should have done on introductions, everybody? We should have put our contact information, particularly our Twitter handles. And so
well, maybe they're going to have to wait till the end, because they're going to have to get through the whole thing to get that little juicy tidbit. They're going to love us so much.
Nice.
I think our Twitter handles appear.
They will, but for the people, those are people who are looking at us live. But so for those of the people who will be subscribing afterwards, who are just listening to this while they're driving, is they won't necessarily have those. So we have decided
tell us, Ryan, about this.
Yeah, so we're going to in the podcast itself. First off, before we talk about the subject, let's talk about what this podcast is going to look like. We're going to have a rotating series of us, and there's a fair amount of different titles for us all: TOSAs, coaches, all sorts of different things. And we want to be able to rotate hosting responsibilities and bring in some guests as well. And we'll have several different segments in the show. We're kind of anticipating this thing to be around 30 to 40 minutes probably for each of our conversations. And we want to basically kind of make this the staff meeting that you want to be at.
I think I would agree with you. I think EdTech Ari put it the best when she was like, I got to give her credit for that. I think what is a staff meeting that you never had? I mean, we go to these staff meetings and we sit there and we get stuff. And I think Ari, I'm passing it over to you because you put it so nicely.
Well, I was just thinking, what's so nice about when we get together in the Voxer and we chat, someone will throw out an idea and then someone will kind of have the yes and philosophy about how can we make this idea better, how can we make it grow. But then there are times when we're talking with each other and, people respectfully disagree. And we don't get to have that type of discourse in a staff meeting usually, because usually it's, one person or a group of people just sage on the stage information, and there's not a lot of room for those conversations that are really going to be impactful in the classroom, in the library, in the makerspace, in the admin office. So hopefully we can change the perception of that, and hopefully we can bring a little bit of our Voxer energy to the podcast world and share that with even more educators.
Good point. Yes, like I would have mentioned before, this kind of came about from these Voxer conversations. And if you haven't gone onto the Voxer thing, Voxer is a really great PD tool that has been really popular for a lot of educators lately, start having these closed kind of conversations. What's nice here in this podcast idea is that we turn this closed conversation into an open one.
So
I like. Oh, go ahead.
no, you're good. Your turn.
Okay, I was just going to piggyback on what Ari said. I like Voxer because I can listen, glean, and grow and share. But when I do have questions, I know that there's people out there that are willing and able to help me. And if it doesn't concern the rest of the chat group, we continue to kind of professionally grow and communicate and collaborate with each other through side boxes. So I like the setup of Blab for that as well. People can join in or join out as they wish, and conversations kind of deepen and lend themselves to topics as we continue to talk.
The other thing I think is making sure you have that open and honest conversation. Another analogy we've been throwing around is this whole thing of the everything bagel. We want to be that everything bagel where you can get a little bit of everything. And sometimes, Ryan, you're not going to like those fennel seeds, and but I certainly do. And what works for me might not work for him. And sometimes you just like it all. So
totally disagree. Nobody likes fennel seeds.
I love fennel seeds, and I know somebody else in here already totally.
No.
I love the fennel seeds. I love everything on the everything bagel, and if you don't like it, you can scrape it off and give it to me because I will gladly eat it.
So I'm gonna pop out real quick, and Miss Jenna, tag, you are it.
Awesome. I like this idea. We're playing tag to be able to get in here. Lock seat. What did I just do? Here's Jenna. Nice. Oh my gosh, we also got, our last host decided to join us here. We got Roland in here too. So hi, Roland. He wasn't here in the pre-show, but Roland, at some point, if you want to be able to jump in, let us know. So we're finishing up segment 1, talking about the staff meeting that we want in the name of the show, the whole point of this particular podcast. Some people may be asking, what the heck does the name Log Rolling mean? And so, Jenna, you want to talk to us a little bit about the idea of how this name Log Rolling came about?
Yes. So again, when you're talking about Voxer, we end up having like 20 conversations at once. And someone, you'll have to tell me who it was, but someone out of all of our giant brains came up with the idea of log rolling from that idea of like you're having to, because it's a competitive sport in lumberjack games, and you have to control the spin of that log. And it's kind of like when you're in the classroom, you got to control the momentum of your students. When you're in a different position, a TOSA position, you got to control the role of everything that's going on.
I'm actually going to give you a shout out to where I heard that from. I was on the plane, I forget where, and I'm listening to a podcast because I sure love podcasts. And it was the Here's the Thing podcast with Alec Baldwin. He interviews different movers and shakers, and he was interviewing Jimmy Fallon. And the interview with Fallon, they were talking about this idea about things are ever shifting and changing. I thought this was right when we were having our conversations about what this extended Voxer group needs to be, and I threw it out there. And I think that's kind of, we've thrown around some different ideas, and knows if log rolling is going to stick, but I think that's kind of how we envision our role, and actually just educators in general, right?
I agree. Educator in general, and log rolling, you're constantly shifting and changing directions. And I feel like that goes with the flow with education as well as those that are educators.
Yeah. And the last part I think we want to talk about in the staff meeting is, who is this podcast really for? We've been really debating this idea. First off, we've been talking about this thing for how long has it been?
2 months.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like we started talking about this back in December. Right?
No, it wasn't in December, because I looked at the show, the notes, the script, and it was December was the date we had put down to start. So I think it was November, maybe.
Oh.
But anyway, who do you guys think?
Just keep rolling, guys.
I like that.
That's right.
Who should this be geared towards? Who's the audience?
I think the audience is any educator, because I will tell you, I was recently a 5th grade teacher for 8.5 years. Just a few months ago, stepped into my position at the county, and I'm so shocked at the similarities. And so I think all educators would benefit from those, from learning tech tools and et cetera to help them manage that role.
Good point.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that although we all kind of came together, via tech, we all have different expertises and different backgrounds, and even different interests within education. And I think that, while it's a broad audience saying anyone in education, I think it's actually a good audience because just yesterday or this past week in the Voxer, we were talking about, how we want to communicate with principals in a more authentic way, and we want to work with departments. And I feel like, this is a good place to have those conversations and talk through those ideas.
Good point. Good point. Okay, so hey, I think we kind of, hopefully, you guys as an audience kind of got the idea of what our idea. I don't even want to call it a mission or mantra yet, but basically, we come from these different roles and responsibilities. We come from different places, but our idea is that we want to be able to help educators, and so that's kind of what this comes out of. How we can be able to do, you guys.
Hey, I'm going to jump out and let Roland test this out on his phone.
Awesome. Okay, so we got our last.
You ready, Roland?
Of the 6-pack here, right? There's 6 total, I think.
Oh, I
Did
love
we get everybody in?
Yeah.
Did we get everybody in here?
6-pack.
Woo woo!
Ooh, sponsored by Coors Light, everybody.
Aw, Coors?
Yes, it's the greatest beer of all time.
Ariana, that's why you and I are soulmates.
Oh. So, all right. So, Roland's here. You can maybe hop back in. But we're going to migrate this over to, and Ben just dropped out. Does somebody want to hop out and let Ben in? Because Ben is going to introduce and talk about segment number 2.
I will
hop
hop out.
out. Oh,
All right.
you said-
Ben's coming in here, and I need one other person to jump out to let Roland come in.
I'm out.
All right, so in this second segment, we are going to get things having some fun, and this is log rolling let me try this again. Log rolling rapid super fire awesome time.edu. Let me try that one more time. Log rolling rapid super fire awesome time.edu. Man, that's hard to say. I'm going to have to practice that. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to flip things up and spin, because it's all about spin, like they were saying. We're going to spin right here, and for those of you that are joining us digitally, I've used this name picker right here. I put everybody's name in there. Do I got everybody? April, Ariana, Ben, Jenna, Roland, Ryan. Everybody's in here, and so we're going to go ahead and get going with this.
Speaking of people, we got a fair amount of people who've joined us in here, which is fantastic as you're spinning. And Roland just jumped in. I just want to give a shout out. I don't even know who you are, but there's a guy named Rasputin who joined the Blab. And I just, as a history guy, I know he was impossible to kill, and now he's here. So Rasputin, I'm so proud you made it.
A big shout out to everybody that's here actually listening and watching us live right now, because I mean, we kind of know what we're doing, but we also kind of don't. So thank you all. Oh yes, thank you so much.
And
all right,
so,
one last thing. Someone's got a dog or two.
That's my dog, dude. He's apparently not happy.
Before you spin that too, we have our last host.
Roland,
we want to let him. Roland is here, man. Yes.
What's up, guys? I'm Roland from Sacramento, tech coordinator at a small charter school in West Sacramento.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Roland.
Roland also just didn't introduce himself well enough. He is fantastic because he knows the back end and the front end of Google Apps for Education. So that's pretty awesome and pretty stellar. So shout out to Roland.
All right. Roland, you are awesome. And now I am finally officially ready. My sound effects are on, everybody's name in there, and we're ready to go with the spin the wheel. One of us may have to jump out and let one of them in, but it is all in the suspense. And so here we go, people.
He's spinning. So,
all right, we got Roland. You're up, number 1. Please share us a tip, a tool, a resource, an idea, whatever's on your brain. Bam.
Ooh, all right. What was it? There was something I found this morning, actually. Let me grab my. Hold on.
You had to pick the guy who was least
Not
prepared.
Ready. Sorry.
Yeah, I just got.
That's the way it works. We're spinning. Man. Sometimes, when you're in that staff meeting and the principal's like, "Could you please share?" And you're like, "I wasn't listening. I'm not prepared." It happens. Never.
It does happen.
Never to me, of course, but.
No, I got it. Oh man! I just can't remember the name of it.
Oh, how about
Roland? I can use this tool actually to grade you as well based on the answer. And so right now I'm thinking giving you the minus here.
Give me the minus. Oh no!
Should I put you in the holding tank? Watch this. Watch this. Okay. Double tap Roland. Oh, he's in the holding tank. April, I got to take you out of the holding tank. Roland,
because there's.
Sorry, you're in the holding tank. You're gonna have to step out and let April in, and then you can come back in, right, buddy?
All right, I'll step out.
Awesome. This should be like master learning.
right?
In Master Learning, nobody fails, right? We're able to, hey, Roland, you're going to have
You'll
a
be
chance
back, though,
to.
okay? You're in the holding tank. We're going to have you back. Roland will be back. And we're waiting for April. By the way, this is class cards in case you were wondering.
That's hilarious.
An iPad only app.
No, it's on Google, and I think it's on Android. It's a Rick Morris app. I love him. I know some people don't. So, April, you are up. And so what is your resource idea, etc.?
Totally love that extrinsic motivator right there. Well, lately right now, because teachers' time is very valuable and there's not enough of it right now, Screencast-O-Mastic is my favorite tool. I create short tutorials. Teachers can give me about 3 to 5 minutes to watch a little tutorial to figure out and deepen their understanding with our new math program, our digital math program, as well as Office 365. So they like it. The sound is great. It's easy to navigate. It's real user-friendly on my laptop and my iPad. So teachers are really liking it. So that's my tip of the week.
I'm sorry, is that an extension?
No, it's a web-based program, and you just download it, and it's free. I have the light version. The light version is doing everything I want. I really like it because if I make a mistake or if my connection slows down, I can totally pause it and pick up where I just left off at.
Nice.
Very cool. I'm going to have to check that out. And as Mr. O'Donnell would say. So thank you for sharing. Up next, April, I'm going to give you there you go, A. There you go, April. A for April.
Thank you.
So,
hey, real fast, and also all the tips that we're going to have here too. We haven't really decided what it's going to look like, but we are going to have the show notes, and we'll be pushing out all those too. What the links and resources that we're sharing are.
All right, Ariana, you are up next in the class cards. Here you go.
All right. So one thing that's really positive love is TED Talks, and I used to love using them in the classroom, especially just some of the ones that are just so inspiring and such. Not only are they great for like sentence starters or inspiration, but sometimes they're also good just to watch, just so students can see what it's like to actually present well. But the problem is like we don't all have 20 minutes to sit and listen to this amazing TED Talk. So I will go to a website called TubeChop, and I will insert the link from my 20-minute TED Talk from YouTube, and then I can cut out that 5-minute, 4-minute, 3-minute segment, and then it gives me a link that I can then push to Google Classroom with the Share to Classroom extension, or it gives me an embed code that I can use in an LMS. So TubeChop,
Awesome.
Cut down those fantastic TED Talks into nice, sizable chunks.
Bite-sized pizzas, brought to you by Ari. Thank you for sharing.
That's what's nice too, is you think about, the idea that we need to be able to edit, and not just to edit, be able to take pieces. I guess that is editing, right? The video that we get out there, because oftentimes we just take, this is YouTube video, a TED Talk, whatever. But back in the day, I don't sound like an old guy, but we used to have VCRs, and you would prep that tape right when you wanted to, and you would stop it. And so I like the idea that
I don't know what a VCR is. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't feel bad, Ryan. My very first classroom that I taught in, actually 5 years ago, had a VCR in it.
Yay.
So
They still exist. They still exist. All right, we still need Ryan and Jenna and Roland to share. I don't know if any of you ladies would mind jumping out.
I will step out.
You can let Roland out of the holding tank. I think Roland might be ready with something super awesome. And also, Jenna, if you want to jump in there as well, because you'll be coming up pretty soon. So we're going to hear from your awesomeness. Ryan, so far, you're the only one who stayed in the episode the whole time. I'm impressed.
And I think I kind of need to, because I'm the one who's running the blab here. So because I'm the one who's being able to let people in and out.
Well, I see how it is, dude.
Yeah.
All right, Roland, you are back.
Right.
So I'm gonna take you out of the holding tank now. Double tap, one tap, you're out.
Oh, it feels good. All right, so this thing is super basic, but it's so useful, and I found it this morning. It's an extension for Chrome called the Color Palette.
Yes, love it.
Oh, here's what it does. So I make a lot of tutorials for staff, and they're mostly Google Apps based. And I am very color challenged. I am not good when it comes to like finding good color schemes. This extension, you drop it down, and it gives you the Google colors, all the codes that you need to code something. So I want to make a presentation and kind of make it googly. There they are right there. And it also reminds me of a very popular set of tutorials or hyperdocs that were put out there by the one and only Coach Ben. That those little cheat sheets he made that were on Google Slides. I was like, man, those things are sharp. How can I color code something that's googly? This app or this extension will do it.
I need to fix one of those, by the way. My slides one is not the right color, so thank you for reminding me. And that's an awesome share, and thank you for the shout out. So here you go, Roland. I think you deserve that A. There you go. And it happens to me that Coach Ben is up.
Oh, you're up. You're up.
I don't know how you guys feel. I got to give a little disclaimer before I share my tool is I feel that there's so many tools out there and there's so many new tools and there's so many cool tools, but sometimes, you just go with the oldies but goodies because you stick with something and it works. And so I've been really enjoying Google Slides just because it's been, fun for me with the presentations that you can do and just so many things I feel like you can do with the Google Slides, like those cheat sheets I was talking about, Roland, and of course that involves a little giffery and some Snagit, but just interactive posters. So I've just been really digging those, and those are old, but if you gave those up and if you haven't looked at them, I would suggest looking at them again because they're awesome. And there is my tip. And I think up next we have, I don't know, what grade do I deserve, by the way? I can't grade myself a grade. That'd be bad. Thank you, Jenna. You had to say that, I'm sure, right? Because you are up next. We have Jenna, and hopefully Ryan will be back by the time.
Look at the picture, though.
Oh, that's a great picture. All right, so I agree with Coach Ben, and my tip is also a fairly routine tip, but I find it super useful as someone who trains teachers constantly is I love YouTube playlists. I love that a teacher can say, hey, I don't really know a lot about Seesaw, but I heard about Seesaw, and I can do some really quick research and put together a really dense playlist that I vetted that I've been able to go through thanks to that little click the gear icon and then you can speed it up trick that someone told us. I think it was Ari. And that's another reason why I love Voxer. So Voxer is my tip, but my big tip is a YouTube playlist that allows you to really give your audience a broad amount of information without you yourself being an expert.
No, I love that. I mean, I'm definitely going to go, and if I'm not already following you on YouTube, you're going to have a new follower by like the end of this podcast. Because that's how awesome you are. And
Jenna,
so I think
it's super simple, but it's really effective. So I gave you some love because I just got into playlists, but I app smashed it in the sense of I've been making my own screencasts and throwing them up on our school's website. And so we just transitioned to Schoology as a new LMS this semester. And all the parents now need their access. And historically, I'll have parent nights, for weeks on end. I'm staying late, doing, trainings, getting the parents in, getting them all comfortable. I've just been throwing up quick little videos, and I've only had 3 parents actually need any kind of hands-on training. They've all said, the videos are fine. And so I've just been putting together one big giant playlist of little quick how-tos, and it's completely taken the need for me to be after school.
Right. And I actually did my very, 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 very first video like last week. It was like how to make a multimedia text set smashed down to like 4 minutes and 46 seconds.
Very cool. That's that's the hard one, is to be quick, right? How do you create great content in quick amounts of time? Because after that kind of 30-second mark, people start to wane.
That's true.
There you go, Jenna. I gave you an A, which leaves the one man standing with his tech tip. Up next, we have the Creative Ed Tech. Go. Got nothing, dude.
Nothing.
I think his he's like pantomiming thank you, and he will share that next time. It's so good that he's going to save it.
Keep it in your back pocket, friend.
All right, so that moves us on, I think, to segment number 3. And that is what's in the inbox. And so this segment is really based around the fact that, hey, we all get emails and sometimes there's exciting things in there. But we would also love to hear from you out there with what questions you have, what discussions that you would like to have. Spin that log around. So I think, Jenna, you are up first.
Woot woot. So when I opened up my email tonight, I found something there's something called Museum Alliance, and they send out really cool stuff. They're affiliated with NASA and JPL, the Jet Propulsion Lab, and they are going to be doing a telecon, and it's a free professional development. Anyone can log in, and it's all about the Pluto New Horizons, and they are going to talk about the history of it and a little bit about what they learned from it. And it's just going to be a big open discussion in which you get to sit and listen to doctors of science chat about something as cool as Pluto New Horizons.
Very awesome. That is for sharing. And I think I'm going to step out here. I think Ari is up next, and then April, and then we're going to have Ben and Roland. So here we go. Up next, Ariana.
Or not.
Realize
There she
that
is.
I accidentally shared my what's in the inbox during the tech tip section because I actually got an email about Tube Chop this week. So I'm going to kind of backtrack and I'm going to talk about the other thing I was going to talk about. But it's okay because I've been getting a lot of things in my inbox this week about Google, the upcoming Google Innovator Academy in Mountain View. Myself, along with 33 other educators from around the world, are going to be in Mountain View next week. And we're the first cohort of the new and improved Google Teacher Academy, now rebranded as the Google Innovator Academy. And if you follow the hashtag Google EI next week, I'm going to tell you what, we will be blowing it up with some awesome stuff about our innovation projects and how we hope to change you. So hopefully you'll join us and hopefully we'll share some really cool stuff. And if you want to be a Google Innovator, I don't know when the next cohort opens yet. Hopefully they'll announce it next week. So that way, if you want to participate in the Google Innovator experience, you can. So that's what's been in my inbox for like the last month. And it's awesome. And I'm so excited. I can't believe I finally get to go.
Very cool.
All right. Where did our person with the selector go?
I think it's you.
All right,
You're up,
I'm up.
April. It's you.
So I opened up my email and we just finished our third round of academic conferences with K through 5 teachers. So I happened to see all the information, all the data curated. It's nice to see that there is follow through for everything that we have been working on really hard this year. It's been a focus and it's a school-wide focus, but it's really nice to see the follow through from our admin being the lead learner in this model and accountable for following through on curating that information and keeping everyone up to speed with the growth. And what I like the most is that it's not just shared data with your grade level, it's shared data for the whole school. So all of the grade levels can see that we are wholehearted into this. And this information isn't to be competitive or to see who's doing better than others. It's there because we're all part of a team. And it was nice to get that email today.
That's so awesome. That's
Cool.
such a great edu-win. That is amazing. And I love that the principal is the lead learner. Like that's how it should be. Yay!
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll chime in. Because I got to run, but I definitely have something. It's not a direct question that's in my inbox, but what I'm finding is a series of emails that all kind of link together in relation to conversations that are had in the moment, and it's kind of to crystallize. So like the meeting notes, right? Like, oh, here's what we talked about when we met, and now there's all scattered through the inbox are all these different notes that one will have a hard time keeping track of. So one kind of simple hack that I think is just elegant is just one Google Doc to rule them all with a table of contents, right? Like, so the idea being that, let's say, and just use your date, right? Like you open up the doc, write today's date. You write down everything that's been going on. Then you make that date your heading 1. Next time you open up that doc and have a meeting, you push it down and put the next date in there, and then make that a heading 1. And over time, there'll be a table of contents you could insert on your Google Doc. And now all of your notes are in one place, and you can search across that one document to find, oh, what we were talking about, the dance coming up. Who said they were going to chaperone? Who's going to follow through on that? It's all there. You can use Control F, or if you're on a Windows machine, you'll use your, what is it? Is it Control
F?
Anyway,
Windows.
but you can use your you'll use your find feature. You'll use your find feature, and now you can search the entire doc for what went down, and you can skip around to different dates and see what was going on. You can throw comments onto things and then tag people, and it sends a little trigger to their email. It's just an elegant way to keep everything in one place.
All right, so
You on the move there?
up next, it looks
He's
like
stepping
Ryan is-
outside.
he's stepping outside. He doesn't want to disrupt the people of Starbucks with his awesome tech tip. Although I really feel like
Can you
the
hear me?
people of
Am I
Starbucks
back?
deserve to hear it. So here comes
Am I
Ryan.
You're back.
Oh,
You're
geez.
back.
Okay, sorry.
All right,
So yeah, I had to.
before you go though, I got to run
Okay.
though. So, but log rollers, I'll definitely keep in touch. Thanks for having me in, guys.
Thanks, Roland.
Bye, Ryan.
Okay, so Roland's going to hop out here. Yeah, sorry, people. We're trying to do this thing, and I'm at a Starbucks here, and trying to chime in, and I'm outside. And first off, it's quite cold outside, but then I ran inside because my battery's running low. They're having like some meeting inside, so I can't talk because it's really quite loud in there. So back outside, I'm at 11% battery. So hey, yeah, my quick little share out here is the idea of I wanted to share a blogging conversation that's happened recently. I'm going to put it in the show notes here. But there was an interesting conversation happened in the last chat I was in, the Connected Team chat. A lot of people talking about blogs and looking for ideas for blogs. And so I love the idea about a crowdsource. So we kind of started crowdsourcing and sharing some blogs, and just made an open to the public document, which I'm including in the show notes and I'm putting down here in the chat. Anybody who writes a blog can put, or even write their own blog, but any blog that they read, pop it in there so we can start having a collaborative document where if you want to be able to read, find what other educators are putting out there, then you can add to the conversation.
Awesome. I'm on it right now. In fact, I'm adding my my Coach Ben right there. So don't steal my row. It's number 18. All right, people?
Okay. And then what's fun, and then in this conversation, this is how cool I just love the connected social media piece, which podcasting and blogs and Twitter, all that are all part of. As soon as I did that, somebody else shared back with me, and she said, "Hey, by the way, I've been doing this crowdsource thing so far," and she shared hers with me, and I just put that in the link too. And her name's Jody Morganson, and she's got this beast of a crowdsource document. And I just put that in there too. And I'm like, oh dear God, she's got like 200 some odd blogs on here that basically kind of did the same thing. And so I've been going through and kind of pulling some out of there. But if you have a blog and you're interested in sharing that or other ones that inspire you, or you write your own, because more than anything else, this is kind of what's my push the past several months is really to try to be more of a blogger, because I think writing is really important to getting your words out. For not necessarily for sharing, but even just for your own self, so you can kind of spend some time.
I double that. I think it's important. I think I was trying to figure out a way how to condense all these docs and these sheets so I can reference them for when I'm ready to sit down and reflect and grow. But I think above anything, blogging is a great way to internalize and reflect everything that you've thought about, read about, learned about, shared about. And then really internalize it through the gift of writing.
Now, what about you guys? How many of you guys are actually writing and blogging on a regular basis?
It's hard, man.
Regular?
I'm irregular.
I regularly put it on my calendar as a task to do. Does
Agree.
that count?
I
Yeah,
agree with you.
Counts. I don't know about you. I'm really good at writing drafts.
Oh, I don't
know.
even draft. I just, and that's the end.
Yeah.
I just
Oh, no,
realized you
I
can't see
don't
the
have the time.
pantomime.
You just can't, do it all. And so sometimes you
Yeah.
got to do, pick your way to get yourself out there. Right.
Right.
Yeah, I think blogging takes forms of many different forms, not just traditional website blog posts, but I blog for morning messages each week. I blog through texting. I blog through links as well. So I think, it's what your take or what your form is on blogging. But honestly, I try to get my blog going when I have some time during breaks in summer, but I need to be more regular about it. That's something that I'm passionate about.
And what do you guys use for your what service do you use? Because there's a bunch out there. You have, me personally, I like using Weebly, but I've tried Blogger. I've tried EduBlogger. I know that's a popular one for people. What about you guys?
I think you got to. I think you got to stick. Sorry, Jenna. I think you got to stick for me. Like, what are my teachers going to be using? And with the whole GAVE thing, that's why I simply do Blogger, and that's why I use Google Sites for my website. Jenna.
I was going to say the same thing because majority of the 40 school districts that I serve, they use their GAVE summit, their GAVE summits, their GAVE districts. So I use Blogger.
Yeah.
I do want to use EduBlogger because it's associated with WordPress, but I'm trying to show fidelity to what my district is using. I use Weebly. I try to get the teachers that are in the pilot on Weebly because I feel like it's a good format, user-friendly for new teachers to get them started. And then as they get familiar with that, they can start to explore and innovate or branch out and try something else.
Yeah. Speaking of what's in my inbox, I didn't get to that one, but what's in my inbox is I'm getting emails from teachers asking, "Hey Ryan, I know we're supposed to use X, Y, and Z, but can I use Weebly instead? Because Weebly's are really easy to use." And I'm kind of like, well, I'm supposed to have this, I won't say mandate, but we're all supposed to be using this platform, right? But Weebly is just such a popular and easy to use one.
Dude, you're not the police, right? You're not the blogger police. So that's what I say. I'm the blogger police. You doing things right.
And we got some other people mentioned in here. You got ProBlogger.com. Chris Nessie says he uses Blogger.
And there's WordPress.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's WordPress.
And have you guys seen what's it called?
Kid Blogger?
Kid
Yeah,
Blogger.
my daughter uses Kid Blogger. Her teacher.
I used it in 5th grade, and I had the kids come up with pseudonyms. And they were like 5th graders. I'm in this super isolated area, and the stuff they came up with was ingenious. I think one was like Pennywickle bottom pants.
Wow.
Yeah.
So my inbox, my inbox is not necessarily directly related to education, but I think it's important to us as educators, and it definitely something that I'm working on. How to get up early. I got an infographic, and I actually sent it to myself because it was like a Twitter post I really liked, and so that's why I sent my inbox. How to get up early, and it's an infographic on that. And I definitely think these are things we can all do, like turning off your phone and sleeping in total darkness, drink water before you go to bed, reading a book that's not online. Because I think that, we just use, especially in our position, we use technology so much. So, I mean, I don't turn my phone off at night. It's my alarm, and I read Kindle before I go to bed, and I watch stuff on my iPad, and I need to definitely be more mindful of that because sleep is important out there. So what's in my inbox? How to get up early.
Sleep is important. I have a sleep app. I just got new phones for Valentine's Day because that's how my husband and I roll. And it says like that I'm deficient of like 3 hours of sleep in the last 2 days.
Nice.
And so I got a little visitor here, and so I'm going to step out and say goodnight to you all because I think we're wrapping up and let EdTech Ari step in.
It looks like you have a plan.
Yes, and so I am Coach Ben. You can reach me on the Twitter at Cogswell_Ben. And let's keep this conversation going because this is the staff meeting that we're having right now.
Awesome.
Good night, Coach Ben.
Good night. I'm going to be the next person to bow out.
I think we're kind of wrapping up here, too, as well. Has everybody given in what's their inbox share out?
I think so.
Okay. So, hey, let's wrap this up. But the last question we need to have, first off, is we talked about this being a pilot and not really running this thing live. Are you guys interested in redoing this, or do you want to be able to put it in a can and actually say this is our first podcast?
Put it in the can, I say, because if we're always going to wait for perfection, it's not going to happen.
Or
at least that's works for me.
Yeah, don't let perfection get in the way of good and done.
That's right.
Yes.
Awesome.
Done deal.
I like that. Yeah, we have in the community saying hashtag just hit record. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hey, let's wrap this thing up. We don't know when our next necessarily show will be, since this is kind of a pilot and a demo. And I was shocked that we actually got every single person in the group to actually be here.
Oh.
All right,
Impressive.
so
And
if we're
there's a
signed,
cat. So
yes, and my dog just came in, so that's extra fun.
all right, so we're gonna stop this thing. For any of you who want to stick around, there were some questions people asking if we're gonna have a post show, and we'll
Sure.
talk about the show afterwards. But for those of you listening, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you all so
And-
much.
Bye, Ari.
Until-
Bye, Jenna.
Bye, everybody. Until
Bye,
next time,
guys.
keep that log rolling, and we'll see y'all.